Crypto never sleeps and neither does Hedera. This video is going to be a mammoth update for staking across Hedera. Many different pieces of news have just dropped, from native staking to Stader to Saucerswap, and even HBARSUITE have all given us updates on how rewards are going to function, as well as new information about those timelines, which is going to be fantastic. I urge you all to stick around to the end. Again, I thank you for the love and support on the most recent video. Seriously appreciate it. Let's jump straight in, because as Binance says, crypto never sleeps and neither does the information from the space. So Mercedes-Benz has just launched a data sharing platform which is being powered by POLYGON. So again, this is a massive move from a very large auto manufacturer, as we're seeing more and more different industries become ever interconnected via the cryptocurrency technology. Now, the idea here is the artificial intelligence and machine learning, particularly used for self-driving cars, obviously require a ton of data. Large volumes of data are required to train these models. Obviously, Google's had a head start in the past from utilizing and leveraging all of the data they collect for their self-driving car initiative, Waymo. And obviously it's been a great success. And now we've got Mercedes-Benz and other auto manufacturers looking to enter the space, and they are leveraging cryptocurrency technology, in this case, Polygon's chain, in order to help distribute, share, and use that information to train these models. So a great use case here for cryptocurrencies. Not only that, news just in, Ethereum developers have just announced the GOERLI merger is going to be going live on August the 6th to the 12th, the last test before the Ethereum transactions move to proof of stakes. Obviously, this is that big merger we've been talking about before, and it's appearing ever closer than we've seen. Hopefully, if everything goes well here, we could see the merger go live sometime around August, end of August, early September. And as I mentioned before, there should be some price appreciation for the Ethereum tokens off the back of this happening, just due to the nature of the downward pressure from supply. So the miners obviously having to sell in order to cover their fees. Jumping across, let's just take a quick look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin at the moment holding very well. We can see it's up to 4.5% nearly on the day, approaching $24,000. Seems to be regaining some strength. And a lot of this, again, is macro driven. So one of the Fed meetings recently, they have unanimously agreed to do a 75 basis point hike. I think majority of the markets were actually pricing in a 1% increase, as we spoke about in a video several weeks ago at this point. They were touting and flaunting the idea of a 1% increase to try and curb inflation. That would have been one of the single biggest rate point increases that the US has seen for many, many years, for decades. They have instead agreed on a 75 basis point hike. And of course, this would have eased a lot of the markets that would have been pricing in a 1% increase to those rates. So some bullish news across the board. However, we may continue to see stuff track sideways up until that point hike actually going live, and then the next chair meeting from the Fed sometime in sort of September, October time. So still averaging into those positions, still a good time to buy for me personally. Obviously, you guys need to make up your minds on what's happening. Right, let's jump across to all of this Hedera news then. So the first thing being, the HBAR Foundation couldn't be more excited to announce that our first grant to the account 0.0800 for the much anticipated native staking on Hedera via HIP 406 has been distributed. Let's go HBARBarians. If some of you caught me on Twitter, I did tweet this last night, as well as many other people noticed it. That 0.0800 account is the reward distribution account, and 250 million HBAR was the threshold before rewards would begin to become distributed. We will continue to distribute grants to account 0.0800 for the foreseeable future as we move towards the launch of community nodes on Hedera's network. So what they're saying here is they will continue to allocate HBARs to native staking to sort of help give those rewards to the network up until they effectively decentralize away from the governing council node network that is currently running Hedera. As the plan has always been, native staking will enable us to greater secure the already ABFT Hedera network by incentivizing stakers to reward positive node behavior. Currently, you can allocate your stake via Hashpack app and Walla Wallet, with more wallet integration coming soon with Blade Wallet. You can learn more about this support of native staking in their latest blog post. There's also a video on my channel. If you just search for it, you'll find it, showing you guys how to stake within Hashpack. It's dead simple though, and I'm sure many of you can work it out. Although if you do need some additional help, it's there. Which network node are you going to be staking your HBAR with? Let us know below. So you've got 26 different nodes there to choose from. Doesn't matter which node you stake to, they all have exactly the same rewards. It's just how the voting works on the network for the 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗘𝗥𝗥𝗔𝗟𝗦 protocol. Okay, so as we said, that got funded. Hedera also retweeted or tweeted a thread saying the staking reward account 0.0800 has been funded to the minimum threshold of 250 million HBAR. However, the staking rewards program has not yet launched. As I covered in that video previously talking about the 4 different phases of that launch, I urge you guys to check that one out as well because it goes into great depths about how this process is going to unfold. We need to wait for around phase 3 for when those rewards will go live. In order for staked accounts to be eligible to earn rewards, all of the following must be true. The reward rate needs to have been voted on by the governing council through CoinCom and updated on the mainnet. We do know it's going to be a 6.5% cap though. This will only happen once the council has determined that a viable staking ecosystem has been established, which is still in progress. The staking reward account needs to have met the initial threshold balance, which has now been done. So that's a check mark against that one. And the node account is staked must meet the minimum node stake threshold, and the account has to have been staked for the minimum staking period, and then more in-depth overview there. So we've still got 2 out of the 3 points in order to tick off the list before we start receiving rewards. I go through that thread in a video, so I'm not going to duplicate that here. Here we can see as well on the Hedera Explorer, those 3 transactions from the HBAR Foundation's wallet, 0.0604254 of 80 million, 80 million and 90 million, making up that 250 million deposit into the account 0.0800. So that's all completely publicly verifiable via the Hedera Explorers. Okay, so that's native staking out of the way. What's next? Well, Stader. So there's some Stader updates. They've literally just dropped an article today on the 28th, literally about half an hour ago, talking about their rewards for August. As I have mentioned in many different videos, they said that they were having increased rewards of around 680,000, I think it was, HBAR per epoch, which is every 24-hour interval. For the remainder of July, and August was an unknown. We'll know more. We now know what is happening in August. So let's run through this. First of all, they thank everyone for the amazing support for their platform, and together they have achieved, or we have achieved, amazing numbers. 650 million HBAR staked across 83,000 transactions by 11,000 plus accounts. This has clearly proven that given the right product, our HBARarian community can power incredible growth for DeFi on Hedera. The demand bootstrapping phase of liquid staking is now over. By July 31st, 70 million HBAR in rewards would have been distributed to early adopters, and that was obviously what was propping up those very high rates of around 40% APY, so yearly rate of return that we have been seeing. We now embark on a new phase of the journey with some big changes on the way. We are moving to a more modern and DeFi focused user interface on our decentralized application, which you can participate in the beta via this link. I'll show this in a second. New dexes are coming to Hedera, which will have prominent pools with HBARX, giving our users the opportunity to earn extra yield by providing liquidity. So that's those liquidity pools I touched on in previous videos with Saucerswap. Of course, I'll be covering that once it all goes live. Be a great opportunity for those early again. Stader will integrate with protocol staking and rewards for HBARX, which will flow from protocol staking as well. As we prepare for this transition though, we will slowly reduce the emission rate to flow into a stable value, depending on the TVL and yields on protocol staking. More specifically, starting from August 1st, the emission rate will be 600,000 HBAR still per epoch or each day, and this will be reduced by 25,000 HBAR every subsequent week. The below table provides a detailed look at emission rates from the August 1st to September the 4th. So you can see the first week of August, 600,000 HBAR per day. 8th to the 14th, 575, 15th to the 21st, or the third week, 550, and then all the way whittling down to 500,000. Now, this still means we should still see APYs in August north of 30% per year. So some still very good incentives to remain staked on the Stader platform. And I'm very glad they've taken this approach to wind down slowly for the transition across into native staking rather than a hard shut off with minimal rewards. This is very, very good. Emission rates for September the 5th and beyond will of course be announced in the second half of August. They are committed to providing the best yield without security compromises on our users' HBAR, and we'll be announcing new DeFi integrations and product features in order to achieve them. Once again, thank you to the HBARBarian community for all the support and suggestions, and we'll be back with more announcements soon. And of course, I do have another interview booked with them sometime next week, which I will obviously be uploading onto YouTube for you guys. So if you do have any questions about the platform, make sure you drop those down in the comments below, and I will relay those in that interview where we will discuss about what's happened so far today and what we can expect in the future from the team. Okay, and here's that new interface they were talking about here. And we can see the audit was done by 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗏, obviously a very big or known name in the auditing space for cryptocurrency projects. The interface itself looks much better, and we can see on the top left here, DeFi coming soon. And then it's just the standard interface we're used to with stake, unstake, and claiming features for your wallet once you've connected your wallet up here. There's of course a dark mode as well, but great to see them continuing to develop these interfaces. This looks really sleek. Their previous interface looked really sleek anyway. This looks just as good, if not slightly better, and we'll obviously see more stuff coming soon with things like DeFi once those DEXs go live, and I'm really excited to see that happen. Right then, jumping across and looking at some more staking updates for the DEXs. SHIBAR Network, obviously a project that was built by the same team as HBARSUITE, are now talking about auto staking as well. So announcement, hello future. As we will soon be beginning SHIBAR auto staking for SHIBAR NFT holders, you must also own SHIBAR. We removed all token custom fees. Back feeless. Stay tuned for more details coming soon. So we've got auto staking happening for NFTs on HBARSUITE. That's going to be a feature of that DEX as well, and obviously that's being confirmed here. And SHIBAR will be one of the test pilots again for HBARSUITE in terms of auto staking NFTs. This is again another great feature that we may see. We may see partnerships in the future between HBARSUITE and say Zoo's marketplace for collections. Imagine being able to stake your 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗥𝗥𝗥𝗥 Ghost Club NFTs for some additional reward if the project is set up in that way. I'm not saying that 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗥𝗥𝗥𝗥 is, I'm just saying it because it's a project that is very well known in the space. However, again, this is a great thing to see on the network, and we're seeing so many developments across the board. It's absolutely brilliant. Flicking across again, we have another staking update, a much bigger one here, 20 million HBAR from Saucerswap Labs. That's how many HBARs are being emitted to the yield farms on Saucerswap Labs during the first 6 months. When you stake LP tokens in any farm on our protocol, you will earn both HBAR and Source tokens. So there you go, they've confirmed it. You will be earning HBAR and Source tokens for providing liquidity to any of those farms on the protocol, which is really, really good. Keep an eye on those APYs when we go live. Obviously, this is suggesting that we're going to see Mammoth APYs for Saucerswap. So again, it will be the same thing as Stader. The early bird catches the worm. The first users into those pools will have a greater share of those rewards. And I think from previous experience on DEXs, you typically see these liquidity pools have APYs in the thousands to begin with. As liquidity pool values begin to increase, obviously those APYs dial back because you've got to share the rewards with more accounts. We can see here as well, months 1 to 2, 10 million HBAR at launch, 3 to 4, 6 million HBAR at TVL greater than 5 million. Months 5 to 6, 4 million HBAR at TVL greater than $15 million. Provide liquidity, stake LP tokens, earn HBAR, and of course, again, I will have tons of videos showing you guys not only how to do this, but how to make the most of it across all the different platforms, how to integrate them all together and make the most of what's happening on Hedera at the moment, particularly for those of us that are early in this. This is absolutely brilliant news and cannot be understated. Anyway, that wraps up this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you have got some more information now about what's going to be happening with staking on Hedera. Lots of news there from Saucerswap Labs, Stader, and even native staking. And it looks like we'll still be seeing lovely high rewards for the next month or so as we transition across into native staking. If you did enjoy, leave a like, drop a comment if you've got something to say. As I mentioned, I have got an interview with Stader Labs. Drop some questions if you have some on the tip of your tongue. And until the next one, I'll catch you then. Cheers.